Here were two teams in search of a football miracle. Rovers won't escape relegation, while the fixture backlog makes it unlikely Clyde will catch Falkirk. Raith especially playing for pride. And the kids didn't let Gondale down, serving up a cracking match when everyone expected them to be turned over. But the Clyde defence were left staring at each other as Stephen Tulloch touched home Scott Crabb's cross. The celebrations always seem to have real meaning for the Rovers players. Every goal is vital to them in their rebuilding. The game boiled over midway through the first half as Jonathan Smart and John Potter bore down on the ball. Amazingly, no one was sent off. Bookings all round. Clyde got back in level terms thanks to Ian Harty's eye for goal. A brilliant curling effort into the bottom corner, as good as any he scored this season. It's no wonder he was happy to take the acclaim. Bertilot left with no chance. 12 minutes after the break, Raith's failure to clear the lines proved costly. The ball was played back in for Harty. Graham Jones took the principal role this time. He was unlucky not to score and was brought down by the keeper for a penalty. Jones was unlucky with his first effort. Bertilot's arm catching him. Enough for Colin Hardy and for Harty, the chance for his second of the game. He produced a cool finish. Clyde ahead. Normal business restored? Well, not quite. Dale's leading's very much an improvement for his side. He's brought in Pat Clarke on loan from Dunfermline, and the youngster got the vital touch to make it 2-2. Again, the Clyde defence can only shake their heads and look at each other. Clarke getting to the ball ahead of the keeper. And the action, entertainment and drama weren't finished either. Clyde searched for a winner, saw goalscorer Clarke bundle Harty to the ground. A second penalty for Clyde. How much was there in this? Enough contact to dump Harty and set up the mind games with Bertilot. He went to the keeper's left the last time, went to the right this time. Another well-taken spot kick and a hat-trick for Harty. 3 goals away from home, and you would think that would be good enough for a win. But Rovers had other ideas. 2 minutes to go, and Clarke struck again to round off an incredible match. It's the first time this season Rovers have scored more than 2 goals, and enough to earn them an unexpected point. On the day when Falkirk dropped points, Clyde weren't able to take advantage. They now head for Tuesday's Cup replay with dreams of facing Celtic.
Done very well, the young kids. I just told them before the game, you know, get out there, the supporters will back you all the way, and go and play and enjoy it. And the most important thing, and you know, they train all week to come out here and enjoy the game, and I don't want them to be frightened of making mistakes, and they took that on board today, and I thought they were absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I'm quite sure, you know, it's a spectacle for the supporters. It's a game, you know, there's goals in it, you know. But as I say, you know, we're disappointed, especially after going 2-1 in front, 3-2 in front. We should have killed the game off, and unfortunately we didn't.
Billy Reid not very happy. Andrew, who I'm assuming is a Raith Rovers fan, not happy either with referee Colin Hardy. The thing about Raith Rovers now, Alan, is that they've got nothing to lose. They're going to take points from teams, aren't they?
Well, they have started taking points. Obviously, they beat St Mirren a couple of weeks ago, and that's a great result for them yesterday. I mean, I'm talking about our game being a coupon buster. I'm sure that's every bit as much a coupon buster. But they showed a lot of spirit in that game, especially, I think, with the second penalty, which looked a bit iffy. To come back and get a third goal, obviously did really well.
Now, Clyde couldn't take advantage of Falkirk slipping up. They have 3 games in hand. The gap is 17 points. In theory, it could only be 8. Is it still too much?
Miles too much. Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. Falkirk are the best team in the league. They won't lose sufficient points, regardless of whether Clyde managed to win all their games. The gap's too big.
Well, in that case, possibly more importantly then, is Clyde's Cup replay against Ross County with the prospect of a home tie against Celtic.
Oh, it's a huge game for them, and obviously financially it's a massive game for Clyde and the supporters' trust and everything else. So I think that's got to be Clyde's objective now. They've got to concentrate on the game on Tuesday and try and make sure they get a result.
And they'll be hoping that the fans turn out for that one, because they'll want to turn out for the Celtic game if they win, won't they?
I know. Well, unfortunately, with it being obviously Ross County, they won't get many away supporters, but Clyde have been really good at home this season, and it's a huge game for them. It's maybe that, you know, that carrot, if you want, of playing Celtic, that might be the very thing that puts a bit of fear in people's mind and maybe makes it obviously that bit harder to express yourself in the game. It's a hard game for both teams.
Yeah, and the Raith Rovers brought players in, as we said earlier, and Pat Clarke in from Dunfermline, getting the goal which brought it back to 2-2, and this one coming from a corner. He just gets a glancing header onto it, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's unusual to see Bryn flapping like that. I mean, Bryn's been wonderful for them this year, and he doesn't do well there. That penalty kick, I think, soft. I mean, Colin Hardy gives a penalty there. Perhaps he's doing better if he was refereeing our game yesterday. But both penalties are expertly taken by Mr. Hardy, obviously.
Yeah, and this is the goal which earned Raith Rovers the point, and it's a corker.
Oh, it's a great goal. Great touch there. Does really well to get it on his good foot, and it's a fantastic finish. I mean, Bryn Halliwell hasn't even moved.
It's a great finish. It's 3-3. I can tell you, if you haven't heard already, today's SPL match between Inverness and Celtic is off. Don't travel.